Do South Africa need to implement a rest and rotation policy for their bowlers leading up to the Cricket World Cup? This is a very interesting topic, and I'm so glad that Aditya picked this particular topic for this evening because I thought that this is maybe something that we need to speak about. I just didn't know how to maybe say it before. So let's talk about this today. I'm very interested about it because particularly the way things went in the 2019 50 over World Cup. And because of the amount of bowlings that some of our bowlers have been doing, especially our star bowlers, I think we're going to need to have them fresh and ready for the World Cup. We've got one more series leading into the T20 World Cup. There's also some IPL games happening as well. So we need to take that all into consideration. But let's discuss this today. I would like you guys in the comments also to get involved in this conversation and let us know what your thoughts are about this. If you're new to this channel, click subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos as well. Smash that like button, please. Let's get this trending. Share this with all your friends and family on WhatsApp, etc. Let's get straight into this. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid. This is my co-host Aditya, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Today we're going to be talking about rest and rotation and the policy with our bowlers because there's a lot to discuss about this, and I'm going to try to play devil's advocate to an extent and also try to give my opinion at some points as well. Let me start with my thoughts on this. You heard a little bit about it in the intro. I think that with our bowlers particularly, it's not necessarily about building momentum into the World Cup. I think they've proven themselves on so many occasions. They've done it so many times, defended totals they shouldn't be defending, and doing it over and over again. My concern is about over bowling our star players like Kagiso Rabada, Andrik Nokia, particularly as speedsters that are really quick, as well as someone like Lungi Ngidi who has struggled with injuries in the past. I don't want to get to a stage where they are. I want to keep their best performance and their ultimate fitness for the World Cup. So it's very important that we can do something like that. And I hope that the rest and rotation policy, if that's in place in the Sri Lanka series particularly, I think also because with that IPL happening as well, you don't want to get guys injured and sit in a situation where your A game is not possible. It's very important that South Africa this time around can execute their A game and A plan and not have to change their plan like days before the World Cup starts. So Aditya, your thoughts and why you came up with this particular topic and why you suggested what you think South Africa should be doing.
Before I give my views on it, I want to clarify that the rest and rotation concept that we're using here is not the same as England's idea of rest and rotation. What we're proposing here with respect to rest and rotation is an opportunity to give younger players more game time and to manage your first 11 a lot better. Because right now, South Africa has a fantastic bowling attack, but if either KG or Lungi or Andrik Nokia get injured, that team is going to look different. The bowlers who will replace them are still not of the same standard as KG, Lungi, and Anna. So what South Africa need to do is find a way to elevate their skill sets and to get them up to speed with what is required in international cricket. Secondly, and this is something that isn't often talked about, we need to talk about broadcasting. Ultimately, money in cricket comes from broadcasting, and they need to be convinced of the star power of a player, essentially. That's what generates money. Now, when Dale Steyn suffered a bunch of shoulder injuries, KG became an instant star. He was good enough to do that, and he really lit the world on fire. but he also had the support of Morne Morkel and Van and Philander along with him. So that sustained the South African bowling attack. But with this one, KG is still the lone star. Andrik Noke is still up and coming. And South Africa don't seem to have similar replacements waiting in the pipeline. So, in order to produce stars, South Africa really needs to ensure that the next generation of bowlers can produce those X factor performances that KG and Andrik Noke have been doing. And if I need to give you a statistic right now, India is playing what is considered to be its second string team. It's not actually a second string team. These are all players that we know from the IPL and previous performances for India. And they've gone to Sri Lanka. And the amount of money raised for that by the broadcasters, the amount of money raised for the Sri Lankan Cricket Board for that series through the broadcasters is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is insane. So we're talking about millions here, and
South Africa could do with that.
exactly. And so there is a way to do it, and all of these things are important considerations. We can't, we have to think of cricket sort of holistically, because the financial health of South African cricket is also important. That's what's going to produce the next generation of players.
I think it's very important that they think about that. Who can be the next person to replace KG Rabada if he does get injured? Lungingiri, if he does get injured. That's all important, I think, as well. Because when you look at a guy like Marco Jansen, I think it's time now that they start investing in someone like him in T20 cricket specifically. Because if he can put on a performance under pressure, under lights, in front of people, on the biggest stage in domestic cricket, which is the IPL, why can't you do it for his country? Maybe it's an important weapon to have on your bench, to be able to get an opportunity to come in immediately. I hope that they can do something like that. Now, the main problem is the pace. When you're losing KG, you're not just losing a world-class player, you're also losing a lot of pace. So now, is the next person in line, do they have the same control and pace that KG has? We're looking at Lazard Williams. He needs a little bit more game time, because what happens if someone like KG or Andy can't play a game? What if they're having a terrible time and they need to be replaced, etc.? All of those type of things are all possibilities. You need to make sure that your second string or your second team will be able to do the job, or at least a percentage of the job, 80% or 90% of the job that what your stars could do. So what's your suggestion, Aditya, for who should come in and be those guys? Like, there should at least be 5 that can replace 5, or 3 that can replace 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, Marco Jansen has to be one of them. Lazard Williams has been given exposure on a couple of occasions, and he's been good. Sisander Magala has shown us glimpses of his talent. Gerald Coetzee, we know, can really crank up the pace. Miguel Pretorius is fantastic as well. So there are players in the pipeline, but as we've been talking on this show, it's important to give them game time to bridge that gap between domestic cricket and international cricket. Because now Marco Jansen's become a Mumbai Indians cricketer. So his with performances like he showed us in the IPL, he is likely to become almost the face of South African cricket if he continues with that sort of consistency. Yeah. So these things are important, and I hope that they're thinking of these things, because we saw in the Pakistan series, generally we've always talked about South Africa's inconsistency in the batting department, but you take a couple of key bowlers out, and the same troubles are going to ail the bowling department also.
It's very true.
You take Tabriz Shamsi out of the limited overs outfit, you've got a problem.
You got a problem, yes. And I'm hoping that they look at someone like, you see, you're losing a wrist spinner and you don't have a wrist spinner to replace him. All our left seamers are different. All our left spinners are different. They're all finger spinners. And we don't have a lot of wrist spinners that are just laying around. So you need to make sure that you also protect the Tabriz Shamsi to the best of his ability as well. You also need to make sure that you don't overplay Tabriz and keep him fresh for fresh and hungry for that World Cup so that he can just completely dominate, take records in the World Cup as well. Marco Jansen, and I just want to emphasize that again, it wasn't just the fact that he played in IPL. It wasn't just the fact that he performed the way he did. It's the fact that he had to deal with the pressure of playing for the world, for the IPL champions as well. That makes it even more impressive, his performance, and especially bowling against players that he grew up like idolizing. Like, I mean, the way he bowled to AB de Villiers was exceptional. That's a player that he would have looked up to as a kid, him and his brother. So it's very important that South Africa do protect that skill sets and look at that as secret weapons to bring in. Almost like, you have those secret weapon rookie signings. Should be a secret weapon rookie youngster, and that I think that is the currently Marco Jansen. And also, he bats as well, so you can put him at a 9, and you can know that he can carry all this bat, for example. But yeah, there's lots of guys that I would like to see get an opportunity against Sri Lanka, of course. Now it's very interesting how Boucher's going to approach it, because he seems like a type of guy that believes in momentum and that you just need to get wins. And I'm hoping that maybe he does think or listen to this and maybe have a think with his team and say, like, look here, maybe we should consider something like this. Even if we're not going to rest all of them, maybe just rest one per game, make them play. They can play at least one game. They don't have to play the entire series. And like they kind of did do it against Ireland, which I was very happy about. And it looks like they have the ability to be able to do something like this. So, Aditya, what's your final words about this particular topic? Because I think we covered basically everything.
Yeah, rest and rotation is important for South Africa, because if there's one lesson that is to be learned from the golden era of South African cricket, is that they didn't do enough to nurture younger players. They didn't do enough to blood youngsters when they had opportunities, or to rest senior players when they had the opportunities, because the current workload for an international player who's also playing in at least one or two leagues across the world makes it unsustainable for anyone to play all three formats every single time their country is going to play. It's just not possible. And given that, there just needs to be better player management. It's as simple as that, because the IPL is here to stay, the leagues are here to stay. The financial incentive is just too much to expect a player to give that up. And this is that period where I suppose South Africa can learn from perhaps Australia or India in the way that they manage their players, And look, there are so many times. Like recently, Alistair Campbell was giving an interview in which he was talking about the costs of playing Test cricket for non-regular Test playing nations, and he said that if India plays Zimbabwe once for one series, they're good financially for 2 years. Yeah. Now, generally, in that series, you won't have any of Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma playing, but the players in line succeeding Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are still good enough to be able to generate that sort of money and to be able to generate those sort of performances, because clearly the audiences are also watching. So that's something that South Africa needs to do quite desperately, and find smart ways to introduce youngsters, and make sure that they get opportunities in high pressure situations.
And also give them opportunity to bowl alongside KG Rabada, alongside Anil Nokia, alongside someone like Lungigiri. Let them learn off them, bowl partnerships with them. That's how they're going to learn the best, is by playing alongside these guys, not just watching on the sidelines. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to download the latest issue of the magazine. The link is on the screen and in the description. All back issues are free as well. Don't forget to obviously to support us and watch every single video that you can. Go binge watch some of the interviews that we've done, etc., and all of those things. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We've got a very interesting interview coming this week, which we're not going to tell you about quite yet, but please tune in on Thursday evening. That's going to be an excellent episode. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care.